you'll see all different types of walks of life walk through here that would never really associate with each other outside of this place, and you just see them come together and enjoying themselves, enjoying beer. You'll have a college student sitting at one end talking with a dad, a family of four, mingling with a high-end furniture designer. People you wouldn't normally see together, all coming together and finding that common ground and just enjoying each other's presence.
We've kind of become this community gathering spot. The vibe here is, it's a very relaxed, laid back atmosphere. High Point is really, the culture is changing. There's a lot of things going on here in High Point, with the baseball stadium being built downtown. Just all kinds of stuff happening here on Main Street. And when we were here 3 years ago, there was not that same feeling. And selfishly speaking, we really feel like we were a part of this process to kind of get the ball rolling here in High Point, to make sure that it's not just the 40 and 50-year-old, 60-year people here that are living here and want to live here, that we keep the college graduates here and provide jobs for them and provide a great area for them to hang out and meet their friends for a beer after work.
We do get the best ingredients. We don't skimp on really anything here at Brown Truck, and that really shows in the final product. So we take all the time and consideration to do things right. A lot of people think that most of the beer the flavor comes from all the grain and hops, which essentially some of it does, but a lot of the flavor comes from all the esters and profiles that the yeast has. So this is going to ferment for about a week, maybe a little bit more, and then we'll go through a few stages of temperature rest and crashing and collecting CO2, collecting pressures. And if it's a dry hopped beer or a dry spiced beer, we have a port from the top to throw in hops. I just got a sticky note that says somebody has a whole bunch of persimmons. So instantly my brain is like, okay, well, what beer can I make with persimmons? So I have the luxury of doing fun, fresh stuff.
In 2016, we entered in the Great American Beer Festival, and we had no expectations. Next thing we know, we've won 3 medals and are taking home the Small Brewery and Brewer of the Year, which our business absolutely just exploded. That, to this day, really sticks in my mind.
Brown Truck is just a really relaxed place. It's a really cool vibe, and their beer is amazing.
My wife had bought me a homebrew kit for anniversary, and I just started playing around with it in my driveway. And it was a snowy day. The kids sled out in front of our house, so I had a beer bottle out there with no label on it. And we were just kind of acquaintances, and he came up to me and asked me, he said, "What is this?" And I said, "I made this." And he sampled it, and he said, "This is really good." And I said, "Yeah, it's not very good, but thank you." And so we just started talking, why does High Point not have a small craft brewery? And next thing I know, he said, "We ought to open one." And I said, "You're crazy." But long story short, that's what happened. We just started looking and started talking, started writing a business plan, and we just decided to just go for it.
So every weekend we'll do live music and food trucks, just to give people something to do. Not much going on in High Point, so we'd love to provide that for everybody. And then we'll do a few different parties throughout the year. Like our anniversary party is always a big hit. We'll do beer release parties just to kind of hype up new beers coming out. And we're starting to do more kind of like family-centered events as far as like movie nights, Halloween parties with activities for the kids, stuff like that.
High Point's always been a great place to raise a family, to me. I think that, as well as creating a spot for families to feel comfortable, to bring their dogs, that was really important to me.
Furniture market being here is huge because we'll get people from all over the world, and so it's really fun when that comes around. We'll hear a lot of different stories. I've talked to guys who spend most of their time in China, and then they'll come furniture market, and they always remember this place, and they make sure they come back every time because they love the beer.
Brown Truck is so much fun because we get to go out and have a nice local place to be able to hang out with friends with on the weekend. And I'm more of a cider person, so it's cool because they have a varieties of ciders as well.
Everyone here, it's like we're a big, giant family. We always have a good time. everybody's very close, and we all know like if we need each other, then we'll be there for each other.